Hello, sweet friends. Welcome. Today I'm going to be sharing my 2026 summer home tour of the inside of our home. The exterior home tour will be coming sometime in the future. I haven't gotten the outside done yet. The weather won't cooperate, so as soon as I can get that, I will be sharing the outside. But for today, take a walk around the inside of my home, all decorated for summer. So I thank you so much for stopping by, and let's go get this tour started. The first stop in this home tour is my foyer. And I didn't do much in here, just some simple touches. There's that basket that I got, well, I guess a few weeks ago. And I just stuck my old flags in there. And then I had taken that tablecloth crocheted thing off the dining room table, so I used that as filler in there. Here's that Americana wreath that I was using in the guest bedroom. I decided to move it down here. And then in the crock, I just stuck some artificial geraniums. And my fake geraniums came from Hobby Lobby. I have a new front door bought, which is why I haven't decorated outside yet. I want to be able to share that with you guys, and I think it'll look so much better having the new door. So I've been holding off that and the weather. In here, I just added some bunting that I've had for years. And then I just put some fake red geraniums in this crock with some other little spriggy type greenery. And in here, I've kept it pretty simple, just adding some red geraniums and changed up my table display. I had all those molds inside that bowl, and I have moved them over inside the old dough box. And then I just added some different linens. Over here, you see, I put those two crocks that I had on the table up here instead. And I put my small picnic basket. And then I changed out this shelf and added some of my yellowware in there. And then here is the dough box. I put all those molds in there. And the rest of the display is the same. I did change up my cabinet displays. I added some red geraniums and just rearranged things. Took some things out. and changed up the placement of things. But there's that yellow wear bowl with the blue stripe that I got not too long ago. And I tried to combine my butter molds together. I think there's one extra over there on the corner just to pull some wood over there. Then I believe someone had told me that that is a chestnut roaster pan. So I had that in the foyer, but I cleared out some things on the side of the cabinet and decided just to hang that by itself. And I hung a another stitchery up there that I had. And just sort of changed up a little bit off the sides, took some things away, and added some baskets instead. And over here is the same. Yes, there's some wood in my dining room floor, but I'm not going to move it. It's my backsplash for my kitchen. Boy, the sun is finally coming out, but it's making it, with that window, it's making it want to show the outside, not the inside. And over here, I did the same thing in this cabinet. I changed some things up, but I added some red geraniums there. And then I just changed up the display inside the cabinet, taking some things out, adding some different things, and just rearranging it. And then I hung some of my cutting boards up there and removed some other things that I had. My rolling pin collection. And then there's my corn husk broom I got from Pinckneyville Antique Mall a little while back. And I changed up a little bit on the side of this cabinet. I had the spoons and things hanging from there, and then that thing a little lower, but I decided just to put them all inside the pouch and move that upward. And just some small changes over here too, of taking some things away, but adding some different things. I had that box of tins up on the top. I decided to stick them down there from now and just put the butter churn in the old glass jar up there. And over here on this cabinet, I just added a little bit of touches of red, white, and blue. You that remember, I got that pin cushion and this vintage, I can't think of what that stuff is called, that ribbon, but it's paper type thing, at an estate sale recently. If you remember what that stuff called, leave me a comment. My brain ain't working right now. And I admit it, I didn't really change up the display on the fireplace, but I did add some red geraniums. I did add those little red Bibles. And then I hung my bunting, and then there's those fireplace bellows I recently got. And I brought down my old handmade rocky horse that I've had for years. And that bunting, I believe, came from Nana's Farmhouse in St. Louis. Now, usually I take my cabinet all apart and put a totally different display using vintage red, white, and blue things I can find. You know, like old tins and that kind of stuff. But I didn't do that this year. But there's an old red bench. And then there's one of my old books and a quilt. And my old flag. I'd moved this water crock thing. It's a foot warmer over here because they just remind me of birdhouses. So I thought that was really cute. And then I recently got these little very worn children's dishes that were in red for $1. Then there's an old George Washington book. And I recently got these little butter pat things. Got the whole stack of them for $10. I thought that was good. Now I may add a little bit more to this, but I just don't think I'm going to take it apart this year. Those come from Hobby Lobby. I thought those were super cute. But I'm not going to take it all apart this year and totally redo it. I just did that for Valentine's Day, so I don't think I'm going to do it for summer. But I will probably add a little bit more to it. And I found that Uncle Sam at Home Goods the other day. I think it was like $16, right around there, and it's wood. So I thought that was super cute. All right, so I've been struggling a little bit with my couch because I wanted to add some red, white, and blue to it. So I put my mustard away for a little while, and I used these Target throws and pillows in here. And then one of those small rugs my mom found at Menards. But I had two of the throws, one on each side. And I just felt like it was a little too much. So I decided to put this white one there. I'm not really sure that looks any better. I love my couch, but I admit it is very, very hard for me to make it look right. But I recently got this flag pillow. I just found it on Amazon. So I don't know if I should add the blue one back or just leave the white. And then in here is just, you can't see it, but there's a white and a dark crock together. And then some fake geraniums and some tea-stained little cheap flags. So not a lot over here has changed. I added a little flag inside those flowers. And then there's some of my antique baby shoes. They'll stay there all the time. And I did add this flag over the door I left those white flowers. And then I added those spools and then just some more geraniums stuck here and there. So I thought that looked cute. And then over here, I just put some fake geraniums in with some other fake florals that I had. All right, this is my bedroom. I never decorate for seasons in here. It always looks like this. I call it spring. But I wanted to give you a quick look at what the room looks like before we head into the master bathroom. I was able to find the two small throw pillows that match my new quilt. And if you missed the video of me redoing this area, I will be sure to link it in the description. Besides those pillows, the only other thing that has changed is I changed out this wreath. love about this chest of drawers. Do you see that? How the design is made to the drawers wave in and out. I love that. And then this is the upstairs bathroom. This is my half bath that I use to display my laundry type items in. I recently did the ceiling in just scrap beadboard pieces. My laundry room is in the basement, and I just don't decorate down there. It's partially finished, but I don't know, it just doesn't, I just don't like the way it feels down there, so I don't do anything. I'm hoping one day to move my laundry room up to here. That is the plan. And if you see dust, yeah, well, try to ignore it. Because I did dust in here not too long ago. Yeah, what my plan is, hopefully, is to get a stackable washer and dryer, and we will take the sink out. And this is where it'll be. And then I bought a old corner sink at the longest yard sale a couple of years ago that, you know, goes on like the metal base. And so I'll have to take my lockers out, but it will go in that corner, and I'll do it like that. I'll have both in here, which would be a lot more handier. And then I also got this vintage broom from Susan of the Old So-and-So last year at the longest yard sale. And I just added some old calico that I had. And there's my old duster. I thank you all so much for stopping by and visiting with me today, and I will be back soon with a brand new video.